First thoughts, wooing the left, first read. MSN. Outlook. More. Autos. My MSN. Video. Careers and jobs. Personals. Weather. Bellish. Quotes. White pages. Games. Real estate. Wonderwall. Horoscopes. Shopping. Yellow pages. Local edition. Traffic. Feedback. Maps and directions. Travel. Full MSN index. Bing. News.com. Today. Nightly news. Meet the press. Dateline. MSNBC. Breaking news. Newsvine. Home. U.S. World. Politics. Business. Sports. Entertainment. Health. Tech. Science. Travel. Local. Weather. Advertise vertical bracket ad choices. Recommended. First thoughts. Obama's tough challenge ahead. Recommended. U.S. hopes half of G20 countries will support Syria action after summit. Recommended. First thoughts. Wooing the left. Recommended. Republican Congressman chides Cruz for Syria rhetoric. Header point top underscore header left curly bracket background image. Earl http://cd.lib.newsvine.com/chrome/firstrd/images/header.jpg equals 10,462 right curly bracket footer point links left curly bracket background image. Earl http://cd.lib.newsvine.com/chrome/firstrd/images/footer.jpg right curly bracket. The first place for news and analysis from the NBC News political unit. Follow us on Twitter. About this blog archives. Email updates follow on Twitter. Subscribe to RSS. 568 comments. Print. 1 day ago. First thoughts, wooing the left. Obama administration woos the left where things stand in Capitol Hill after 2 full days of lobbying. Since Labor Day the GOP 2016 heirs in the Senate, Rubio, Cruz, Paul, are all against. In Ed Markey's present vote read begins process of putting authorization on Senate floor Obama Act the G20th and Liz Cheney's past week as a Senate candidate. By Chuck Todd, Mark Murray, Domenico Montanaro, and Jessica Taylor. Top talkers. President Obama has said he will continue to engage Russian President Vladimir Putin at this week's G20 summit in St. Petersburg despite the fact that U.S.-Russian relations have hit a wall. The Morning Joe panel, including Times' Mark Halperin, New York Magazine's John Edelman, FMR, Governor Howard Dean, DBT, and the ABC's Kathy Kay, discusses wooing the left in its lobbying effort to get support for military intervention in Syria. The Obama administration now has one clear target, the left. Yesterday, per the Washington Post's Greg Sargent, White House officials held a conference call with House progressives. Today, Secretary of State John Kerry chats with liberal bloggers, and he also sits down for an interview with MSNBC's Chris Hayes. Here's the logic behind the effort. Locking down House Democratic and liberal votes allows the White House to go back to House Speaker John Boehner to get the remainder of available Republican votes. But the White House will have to deliver a large share of Democratic votes. And consequently, we can report that momentum is growing for President Obama to address the nation in a primetime speech. If Democrats, many of whom were elected in the aftermath of Iraq, are going to have to cast a tough vote for military intervention, they're going to need cover from Obama. Advertise vertical bracket ad choices. Where things stand in Capitol Hill, as good of a Tuesday that the Obama administration had in marshalling support on Capitol Hill to intervene in Syria, Wednesday was equally as bad. Yes, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee passed its authorization to use force. But it was by a narrow 10-7 vote, with a noted talk, and potential 2,000.